What's up, guys? Welcome to our first podcast here at Virtue Real Estate Group with one of our top producers and favorite people ever, Jessica Clymer. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks
So
for having me.
excited to have you. We love you. And so excited to introduce you to the audience. So tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from and what brought you to Las Vegas.
So I came from a small town in Ohio, and I came out to visit Vegas, and it was like a 21-year-old type of thing, and we had a blast. And I'm in the pool. My mom happened to be here also, and I told her I'm moving to Las Vegas.
I love it.
And so she's like, give it 6 months, and if you still want to go, then I'll back you up on that. So 6 months later, I'm like, I'm going to Las Vegas. So I packed everything up, and I came here. Once I got here, I did hair for a while. I was a hairstylist.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why your hair always looks so good. That makes sense.
Thank you. Yeah. So I did that, and then I just wasn't feeling it. So I started working for an eye doctor, and still actually help out. It happens to be my boyfriend now, but I've worked there for 20 some years doing that. So then. I kind of, want to do my own thing. So that's when I branched off and thought about real estate. So now that's where we're at right now.
So why real estate? What hooked you in? What do you love about it?
Yeah.
Let's go into that.
So I always loved everything related to that. I always like watching the shows, all the renovations, all those different things. And I also have always been a helper type personality. So I want to help people find their perfect house. I love shopping also. So I'm shopping with other people's money. So it's just something that, clicked with me. I have a best friend that does real estate, and even with all the challenges she always told me she was working through, I thought I'd be good for that. So
You are very good for it.
Yeah.
She is like the property search queen. She definitely likes to shop.
yeah, it works out. It's kind of like Amazon but with houses, right? I'm so good at it.
You're very good at it. So who do you idolize and why?
It's actually funny that that you ask that. I don't idolize a particular person. I idolize a type of person, and that would be the person, the success stories, the people that lost everything and built themselves back up. Just the people that came from nothing and made it something. So it's more of like the type of person, maybe not a particular person. And I've had a lot of those people in my life, so I look up to them, and I always try to understand people and where they're coming from.
Yeah.
And I think that's what helps me in real estate also. If someone's stressed out, I understand this has nothing to do with me. It's something that, could be going on with them, right? So
Right.
I'm always, I think it's just people in general that I idolize that
Success stories.
Yeah,
Is there a
success stories.
reason why you idolize that? Like, do you see yourself like that, or?
I can't say that I had some horrible thing, but I definitely came from a household that didn't have money.
Yeah.
We were a check-to-check type of household, so, and my mom did so well with it, and so, I guess I am slightly like that,
Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
So,
So if there's 3 words to describe you, what would they be and why?
So I would say calm is definitely one of them. I think that helps in real estate a lot because there's people you have to talk off the ledge constantly. They're stressed out because this isn't going through or that isn't going through or whatever it may be. So I feel like as real estate agents, we need to be very calm to help them.
Definitely.
So I think that's definitely a good word to describe myself. I'm adaptable. I adapt to situations. Being with all these different types of personalities, you have to be able to adapt. And resourceful. I feel like, I always can figure it out. And so I'm not a person to just let it go. Like, I need to know how to do something. So that's why I'm the one that fixes everything at my house. I'm the one that handles all of those type of things, you know. And so with clients also, if they can't figure something out, I'm going to figure it out. So
I love it.
Yeah.
I love those words. And if I was to use a word that just came to me, I would say leader. I see you as a leader as well. So I'm going to throw that in there to describe you, because you're definitely a team lead and positive. So those are the two words that
that was actually a word that I was kind of toggling with, because I'm positive. I try to be at the office, and you know, when people are down, I try not to like keep it rolling. I try to pull them out of that.
You do it very well.
Yeah, so I always do try that. Thank you. Thank you.
So what would you say is who, I guess, would you say is your ideal client, and why?
So I feel like there is not a particular ideal client. I feel like everyone could be my client. You know, I treat everyone the same. So my $10 million client, the same as my $300,000 client, they're going to get the same service. They're going to get the same Jessica. They're going to get the same everything. So I feel like, you know, anybody is that to me. You know, I've had people like, I know you specialize in luxury, so you probably don't want to do this, you know, sell this house for me. I want to do all of it. I enjoy it, so I would do any type of transaction, and I'll do it, like I said, with the same quality that I've done with everyone.
Yeah.
So
you like helping people.
I do. I like helping people. So I think that's Yeah.
So speaking of helping people, you've got into a lot of divorce cases recently. Yeah. How did you get into that, and why?
So I have a friend that's a divorce attorney, and he had, you know, asked me to help out with the situation. And so, you know, I started with that one, and it actually, you know, you think it's going to be difficult, and there were times that could be hard, but for me, because I treat them exactly the same, I don't share any information with the other, I separate emails, I make sure that I understand. I don't know what happened with their...
keep it neutral.
Yeah, I keep it neutral. I understand that, you know, their relationship didn't work out, but that doesn't make either of them a bad person. It just didn't work out. So in those moments, they're very stressed out or whatever it is. And I know a lot of people aren't acting as they normally would. So I just kind of pull my emotion out of it, because it has nothing to do with me. I'm not there to choose sides. You know, I'm there to help with the transaction and kind of calm the situation down as much as I can, and to also help them communicate, because in a lot of cases, they're not even talking. So. Yeah.
So what has been the most difficult transaction, and why, and how did you handle that?
You know, for me, like, I haven't had one that was, you know, there's been ones that have taken longer to sell. There's been different things like that. But I haven't had one that I feel like was just so difficult that I was completely stressed out. And I think
you're calm.
Because I'm calm about it, right? And I don't allow it to take over, let's say. So I can't even think of a time that I was like so overwhelmed with the situation, because I know that in the end, it's all going to be fine. It'll turn out as it's supposed to. And that's how I am in life. You know, it might not work as well with my relationship, because he's the type of personality that everything's got to be a certain way, and I'm like, it's gonna be fine, you know, it's gonna work out or whatever. But it's, you know, so
you bring that attitude in there.
Yeah, and I think that's why we mesh well, me and my boyfriend, because he's totally opposite. He wants everything very.
Let's talk about that, because that's a big part of your background, Optic Gallery, and maybe dive into details of what you did over there and how it's helping you in real estate now.
Yeah, so at Optic Gallery, you know, I ran the offices, and you're constantly dealing with patients and issues and staff. I think staff's probably one of the hardest things to deal with. Yeah. So I feel like there I learned a lot. I had to learn every personality, and I'm in an office with 12 women, and I got to keep them all, you know, getting along, right? So I feel like I've learned a lot from that. I just try to understand where they're coming from. and when you dive deep and you actually have conversations with people, you can realize, okay, this has nothing to do with this situation right here. It's the past. It's things that they've been through or whatever. So I feel like that's what's helped me out in so many cases of staying calm or figuring it out or realizing that everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But also just, smoothing things over when things are,
Right.
Rough. So for people and for staff
Yeah.
and for clients or whatever. So.
Do you think that talent or kind of knack that you have comes from your degree in communications? And maybe you can kind of dive into how that helps you as well, because that's kind of what I'm hearing. It's you're an effective, good communicator.
Yeah, I think that was helpful to get that degree, but I also went to like a whole coaching program also.
Oh,
So
I
think,
didn't know that.
Yeah, so I learned a lot there on how to listen,
Yeah.
I think that's important. So I think, also life experiences. I think, all of those things combined and everything that I've been through in my life, it has helped with that. It's just all about paying attention and kind of, navigating through all these situations. And I'm a person that has a lot of different groups of friends. I am very social.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's helpful, knowing all these different types of people. I say yes to everything, which can be good and bad, right? So I'm always doing stuff. I'm always out with people. So I just think of myself as a people person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
definitely helpful in real estate.
yes, in all things in life, I think.
Things in life.
Yeah, for sure.
So, what is one tip that you could give in today's current market for buyers?
Well, what's going on right now? I'm telling everyone basically that they probably, if they were on the fence, now would be a good time to start jumping back in.
Yeah.
Only because, the rates are starting to drop.
Yeah.
Our inventory is already low. So we all know what's going to happen there. I mean, it's common sense that things are going to start to get hectic like we've seen before.
Yeah.
You will end up overpaying if you don't kind of get going now.
Wait too long.
If you wait too long, then everybody's like, I shoulda, woulda, coulda, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the tips
What
that
you're
I've been
saying.
giving my buyers lately, because I do have a few that are kind of like, okay, I'm waiting,
On the fence.
You don't really want to wait until everything completely drops.
Yeah.
Because you can, refinance, you can do, there's options. So it's like you may want to get in before that happens, because you'll end up overpaying on a down payment or paying over what the home is worth.
Exactly.
So
What about for sellers? What's one tip?
sellers, now will be a good time to sell because it's low inventory. So they will probably get multiple offers as it gets busier and busier.
Yeah.
So, same thing. It's good for both sides to jump currently.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
And one more question off the cuff, and then we'll wrap this up. What is one tip that you would give for someone relocating to Las Vegas? Since you relocated here, what's a tip?
I would say to kind of drive the areas, and that's something I help with my clients too.
Yeah.
But if you're coming to look, it's best to immerse yourself. So, I know there's so many Airbnbs around town. Maybe stay at one that's in an area that you're thinking.
Smart.
I always tell people when they ask me what area to go to, it's honestly your opinion. You need to look what's important to you. I can let you know what's in different areas, but there's going to be your grocery stores, your shopping, your dining, your everything in every area.
Yeah.
So is there, obviously there's some areas that aren't as safe as others, so I would let them know or whatever, but it's good to immerse yourself in the places that you think may be the place you want to be. So
Smart. Awesome. Well, thank you for this wonderful interview. And what's the best way for people to contact you? Email, phone,
they
either?
can email, they can call. I can list everything on.
We'll put it in the description of
this
video.
Yes, we
How's
will
that?
describe. Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jessica, for being here, and thank you all for watching our very first Virtue Real Estate podcast. Jessica will be back on to talk more about her specialty. And
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.